Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. Root Beer here with question number 7 on the grade 7 Gauss from the year 2003. An expression that can be placed in the box, this box over here, to make the equation 3 times 6 times 9 over 3 equals box over 2 true is... Okay. So, this is one of those multiple choice type questions where we can't really work our way to an answer. We sort of just have to take each one of these in turn and see which one might be the answer. Now, depending on how good you are with things like mental arithmetic or manipulation of fractions, canceling things out, this question will be very quick for you, or you might just have to go through each one. A, test it, calculate it out, are the two sides equal? No. Okay, B, plug it into the box, calculate the two sides, are they equal? And you can use your calculator for that if you need to. Okay, but this is a great opportunity to try and get a little better with fractions. So if you're good with fractions, you can scan through those answers, and I see C, I think, is going to be the right answer. But a lot of these answers are designed to trip you up, so if you're going too fast, if you do know fractions but you're overconfident, you might not double check and make sure that the expression is true, and that can trip you up as well. Okay? But let's just go through this very naively. We'll try plugging in A into the box and work out what both sides are. Now, we could work out the left side, because that's not going to change. We can work that out. The 3's are going to cancel. We'll be left with 6 times 9. Okay. So the left-hand side of the equation is 3 times 6 times 9 all over 3. And what some people are tempted to do is say each of these has a factor of 3. So the 3 cancels out with each of them. We're left with 1, 2, 3. This is not right. One factor of 3 on the top cancels out with one factor of 3 on the bottom. So when I do 3 times 6 times 9 over 3, just these two 3's cancel out. And I'm left with 6 times 9, or what's that, 54. Okay? So what we want is a number, or an expression to be placed into that box, so that box over 2 is 54. Okay? Or, one other thing we could do is we could rearrange this and multiply both sides by 2 and say box is going to be 2 times 54, which is equal to 108. Either one of these will work. If we take the first one, what we need to do is take each of these expressions here, multiply them out, divide by 2, and say, is that equal to 54? Or we could take the second root that says whatever goes in the box, whatever that expression is, has to be equal to 108. And if we do that, now I just need to go through A, then B, then C, then D, then E, looking for one that multiplies to 108. Okay? The actual numbers don't matter so long as the multiplication of that expression turns out to be 108. And I think this is a faster way to go through it. But both methods are completely acceptable. It's multiple choice. As long as you get to the right answer, who cares how you did it? So you can take each of those expressions, put them into the box, and reduce that down. That's fine. Or you can do it this way. So, what are our expressions here? 2 times 4 times 6, that's the first one up. I want that to be equal to 108. 2 times 4 times 6. Well, 2 times 4 is 8. 8 times 6 is 48. I remember that from my household growing up, trying to help my sister and I learn how to multiply. 6 times 8 is 48. If you don't know it, you're not great. That was the rhyme. So 8 times 6, of course, is the same thing as 6 times 8. But this isn't 108, so we keep looking. Okay? How about B? 3 times 4 times 6. Alright, that's a little more promising. 3 times 4 times 6. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 times 6, you can either grab your calculator or with a little experience, you know it's 72, but that is also not 108. C was 2 times 6 times 9. This is the one I predicted would be the right answer. Because it over 2, the 2's will cancel out, and I'll be left with 6 times 9. Just like I was left with 6 times 9 on the left-hand side. Okay? 2 times 6 is 12. And times 9, well, that is 108. So we've got the right answer right there. And we don't need to go any further. Okay? But if we're a little unsure of our method, or we want to make sure we didn't make a calculation mistake, or we didn't overlook something, we can keep going. This is something you might do at the end of the contest if you're going back and double checking your answers. Work out what D and E were, even though you stopped doing them your first time around. Because maybe, just maybe, you did something wrong, and D and E, one of them turns out to be 108, and the whole theory of the question turns out to be wrong. It won't, don't worry, but that can happen on more complicated questions on other contests. So D is 2 times 4 times 8. Let's take a look at that. Two times 4 is 8. 8 times 8, well, that's 8 squared, that's 64. But that most certainly is not 108. And now finally E. What was E? 2 times 12 times 18. That's going to be very big indeed. Okay, so 2 times 12 times 18. Now 2 times 12, that's going to be 24. Okay, and then we do 24 times 18. And we get a whopping 432. And no, I didn't do that in my head. I did sneakily grab my calculator. But it's okay. Calculators are allowed on this contest. And now we see that in each case, none of the answers was 108, except for C, the one that we predicted, or the one that I predicted. And indeed, C is the answer that we're going to go for here. So we'll just finish up. We'll just note that 432 is not 108, but that's what we wanted. So our answer is just going to be C. And that takes care of, which question was this? Question number 7. We're going to take a look at question number 8 on the grade 7 Gauss in the very next video. So join me then, and thank you guys for watching as always.